So what? We smoke weed. We're just having fun. Kinda care who sees. Is that a bot? No, it's not a bot. Is it? It is. That was garbage, bro. This kid sucks. How much shield did this kid have, bro? That's nuts, dude. I melted him for his shield every time. And he just... Whatever. What are you doing, bro? Should have waited till he wasted all his ammo. God damn it. What the fuck is this? What is that? No. They just had to leak those UFO photos. Which makes me really confused, because if you're gonna claim that aliens are here because you saw a UFO, UFO doesn't mean aliens. UFO literally means unidentified. So how are you identifying something that's unidentified? You know? And that's a huge stretch too. Aliens, bro? Foreign life? Extraterrestrial life? Because you don't know what's in the sky? Come on. We didn't know the fucking moon was the moon until like thousands of years after, so... Everyone just likes to get ahead of themselves. They see one thing. Like, everyone thinks the government is in, like, cahoots and stuff. No one realizes the American government hates each other. Like, everyone hates each other. And also, national governments around the world all hate each other too. Why do you think there's allies and shit? And wars breaking out every here and there, and fucking tension all the time. Why would there be a one world government? Like, that makes no sense. You know how peaceful, or at least, like, less chaotic shit would be if there was a one world government that is still controlled by the people, of the people. Yo, are you serious? Bitch just fucking shoved me. That was some Cardi B shit. Like, come on. Gets a pump and there's... Can't move. I couldn't move. Where the fuck are you? Steamy Stacks? Why am I spectating someone in Steamy Stacks? That's not steamy. No, but seriously, like... That's retarded, bro. And again, it'd be stupid to rule out extraterrestrial life, because it's still a possibility no matter how small, but for everyone to say that's the answer, it's pretty foolish, I think. And this whole, like, that's why I don't like conspiracies, bro. It's like, just because we don't know how the government, like, we're literally taught how the government works. Like, we have checks and balances, so nothing gets out of hand, but for some reason, everyone strongly believes that we have some alien life we dissect and experiment on. Like, it's so convenient for every conspiracist, because obviously we can't prove them wrong. But it sucks for them too, because they can't prove themselves right. They're just like, oh, you know, what do you think they're doing in this mysterious lab? I don't know, probably working on some evil shit, but not dissecting aliens. like you see all these movies too, like Arrival and stuff about like aliens visiting Earth. We need like a global army to fight these things. Why would we like if for some reason there's a stigma behind aliens invading and attacking and fighting and using weapons, like it's all human derived knowledge. They probably don't even have like an anatomy similar to ours. Like depending on their anatomy, they can talk in frequencies we can't comprehend. And also, they might not have like a survival, like maybe even if there were aliens, they might not have the survival instinct as we do. So this whole invading, that's some psychoanalytic shit right there. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone who thinks someone's invading us or constantly believe that aliens are going to invade has some past trauma or something, because, or not even a past trauma, just like an issue where they feel paranoid or something. But anyway, yeah, no, like, everything we think we know about aliens is human derived. So that doesn't mean like we think they have a large head, big eyes, big black eyes, whatever, gray or green. Like, where does that like pop into your head? It's so obvious, because like I don't understand how like people don't really see this or think for themselves or analyze things themselves. Like the stereotypical format of an extraterrestrial is practically a copy of a human. They're bipedal, which means they walk and move on two legs, as opposed to I don't know the correct term, quad I don't know, but basically meaning four, like other mammals. Yeah, it's just like it's such a huge coincidence that in the time that entertainment has made such great leaps and such imaginative, I can't speak, but you know what I'm saying, like in this time where we're able to produce things and use our imagination, it's like, what are the odds that something you know nothing about just happens to resemble human anatomy? Like, I don't even know if I'm making sense right now, bro, but oh my god, I fucked that up so hard. I couldn't put my fucking cone in there. No, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. I wish I had a better analogy. But like, this is to show how creative we were back in like the 70s or 80s, or maybe even earlier. But like the spawn of the beginning, the origin of sci-fi and all this shit. It shows you how imaginative they were back then, but how uncreative they are now with it. Like obviously, like first of all, the chances of extraterrestrial life are pretty slim. The chances that they somehow travel light years, which is they have to modify physics. They have to modify scientific laws to do that. But maybe they have an incredibly long lifespan and don't know what patience is. Maybe they have a lot of it, but you're talking about light years. things, if we lived like a million times our lifespan, if we lived to let's just say we lived to 1,000,000 years old, we still wouldn't be able to. I don't think we can even reach half of our own galaxy. So to think that even if there was life, even if they were advanced, it's still like virtually impossible to have that kind of technology where you can warp space and then thus warping time. Like, it's incomprehensible. It's not something that is easily done. It's not easily done at all. It's pretty impossible, honestly. And the fact that like, okay, I get where people, it's so narrow-minded though. I get when people might bring up an argument like, oh, they wandered into the solar system and saw 8 planets. I still consider Pluto a planet. It's not a satellite to another planet. It's a satellite to a star, which is our sun, which is the definition of a planet. I don't care about the size of it. It's the size of the moon, all right, but the description of moon is the moon's satellite a planet, whereas a planet satellite's a star. That's the description. Who cares about the size of it? Anyway, so they come across, I'm going to say 9 planets because I think Pluto should be considered a planet. They come across these planets and they're like, oh, you know, rock, gas, and oh, look at this. And one of 9, you know, and a short distance, I guess, comparing to their long journey wherever they came from, it's like, it's kind of like, I guess, walking in a neighborhood. Like, okay, this house is abandoned, this house is abandoned, this house is under construction, and then, oh, this house, there's people in it, whatever. So they come visit Earth, right? But that also means that they have to follow our laws because they're still under Einstein's theory of relativity. They're still under general relativity. They have to come into our gravitational field, which would, I don't know, it'd probably fuck up a lot of their, even if they had some kind of spacecraft or anything, that would definitely take a toll on it. Like, you can't modify a whole spacecraft to fit, well, at least not currently, but like, I don't know, I feel like everyone hides behind this notion that we're not as advanced as, you know, we can be, so that means oh fuck, no, I just saw many. These aliens have to be exponentially more advanced because apparently they've been here since the dawn of time and we've only been here for nothing. It's always comparing humans, like human evolution, human industrial progression, like politics, just like culture in general. We compare that. We can't compare that and inject our philosophies of how we lived into these imaginative variables, like, and it frustrates me when people try to use scientific analogies to prove their point, I guess. Like, we can't see, even on the basis of God, like, we can't see, hear, touch, smell, whatever God, but he's there, right? And they use the analogy of gravity. We can't see, touch, we can feel, but we can't see, touch, we can see actually gravity too. But basically it's not a well-known, it's not like we can see it. People can't comprehend something they can't see, and basically they're using that as a strong standpoint on religion. but it's not the same at all. We can see how gravity works, and people claim to see how God works, but I'm not I'm not gonna get into that because it's very controversial. But I have my opinions. Anyway, back on the topic of aliens, it's sort of similar, and people have pushed it so far as to like I'd like to do an experiment and analyze the backgrounds and upbringings of people who are now associating aliens with the creator of humanity. What about the creator of like the Earth or the thousands of other species that are alive? And why aren't we taking into account like the 2 ice ages that happened and the birth of the Earth over the course of I forgot how long. I forgot how old the Earth is, but yeah, like basically what I'm trying to say is like everyone always like brings it back to an alien, like well a human. Like, do I hear someone? Look at that. That's so nice. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, I wish I was talking to someone so I can hear feedback, you know, like I'm definitely not cemented in any of my thoughts. I'm obviously influenced, but I'm very careful in what influences me. Like, and that's where it sort of gets touchy because I'm like, prove it. And they're like, okay. But some might say like, okay, prove evolution. And I can do that. But it's so hard talking to someone who's not willing to change their mind or something. And that brings up more like sensitivities and philosophies. Whereas if someone's happy believing in whether it's true or not, if they're happy believing in it, then go ahead and believe in it. So many medkits. So, and who am I to like, change that? Who am I to rid you of your happiness, your comfort, just because I believe it's wrong? And maybe it is wrong, but still, that's if it brings them happiness, I'm not. Who am I to take that away from you? So, but if someone's willing to factually have a debate, I am more than welcome to share my opinion and hope that there are no issues with like, you have a fucking sniper. Did you pull out a minigun, bro? No, but yeah. I think it has a lot to do with critical thinking. Like the human race is very like. It's not like I'm speaking for them or I know everything, but it's pretty obvious that we are very influenced by everything a lot. Like we are such influential, like not influential. Well, we are, but like the mind will remain a sponge, although it doesn't absorb everything over time. It chooses what to keep, if that makes sense. So, and I think it does this through what we value, what we choose to value, our morals. That definitely affect it, but we are very influenced by a lot. Practically everything. It's debatable, but everything, we're influenced by everything. And that brings me into a topic that's like Alan Watt talks about it. Uh, Freud was touching on it with the subconscious, how, things from everything influences us, especially from childhood, where the mind is the most influential. It makes sense if you put it like that all together. But yeah, we are very influenced by what other people tell us. That's why, and if I'm gonna quote Nietzsche, philosopher, German philosopher, he, oh fuck, what does he say? Oh, he says that the downfall of society, I think he says, is that we applaud those who think alike rather than those who think differently, and I 100% agree with that. It's like that kind of falls into the systematic education, well, the education system we have today, where it's like, everyone do the same, sit upright, raise your hand to speak, like very obedient. It's more focused on I think it's focused on discipline more than actual education, because education is messy, and they're trying to contain it all in one like setting, and it's very flawed, and it does kill a lot of bright minds. It does sort of kill creativity, you know. This guy's just out here having a ball with that fucking lightsaber. Definitely got off topic. Talk about aliens. No, but here's what I think. I think like when people say aliens, what do you think? This is proof right here that we're so influential, and that we don't often have the time necessary to critically assess the opinions around us, which Descartes did in his meditations. Um, we don't have time anymore to isolate ourselves and really assess what matters and what opinions are what and what's true and what's not. So we just hope that, we put faith in people and hope that they're telling us what's right, but in reality it might just be the opposite. So, but yeah, think of an alien, and chances are you will think of a sci-fi, like a thematic sci-fi character that like, I don't know, Predator or E.T. or just a common green gray alien. Like, that's the most we can picture or imagine it. Imagine, wow. When I think there's so many ways, possibilities to think of it, like, just it kind of amazes me that we're not able to do this, or a lot of people aren't. It's like, just picture, like, just imagine the species that are on Earth already. It's like the variation is like pretty crazy. We go from tailed organisms to organisms that live in water. He's still there, bro. Aquatic, land, flight, all these things, all these species, and they are only able to do this through the Earth's parameters. Like, if there was, I don't know, maybe like 6%. I forgot the measurement. I think it's 20. Is it 25% oxygen in our atmosphere? Let me see. Um, 21% oxygen. It's 78 nitrogen. I got them a little mixed up. But we have 21% oxygen. If that was a little different, like, it's say on this other planet, this exoplanet, there's I don't know, like 15% oxygen. The creatures on there, if they exist, will be very different. Like, just on Earth, if you modify the atmosphere, you will notice that... I want to kill this Deadpool. But you will notice a huge change. I remember watching a video where it basically talks about... Basically this, like... I think insects or spiders or mosquitoes or flies, I think just insects in general, if there was more oxygen than not, if there was a surplus in oxygen or a depletion, I don't know, just a variation in oxygen, they would be huge. Insects would be huge. So, yeah. But yeah, so like so many factors contribute to this, and also, well, like, there is a chance of them obviously developing a functional anatomy without a brain, like bacteria. So life can exist, never denying that, but then we like to fantasize about intelligent life and other life visiting our planet and all this advanced stuff, like that gets way out of proportion, out of hand, you know. It's like, what, bro, what is this guy doing? Nah, bro, you don't see me. Really? Giving away my spot, G. Fuck off. Let's go with you. I don't even know where that came from. Damn it. I'm trying to put it here. Definitely someone underneath me, bro. Oh, disguise yourself as a henchman. Genius, bro. Genius. Where's that launch pad this kid used? There's someone over here. I heard his fucking lightsaber. There it is. I don't wanna die. Don't shoot me at the air. I don't wanna die. Oh, nah. Who hit that snipe, bro? Where's the fool that hit me? Oh, he's over here. Oh, good looks. You're mine, bro. Yo, come on. What, a Christmas tree, bro? As such, oh, he got the fucking drop. Good, you dumb bitch, you deserve that. Yeah. I want a podcast though, bro. I feel like actually a lot of people would dislike what I'm talking about because it's like it kind of goes out the comfort zone of thinking, which isn't uncomfortable for me. It's actually it's very comfortable for me, but to other people they don't like being challenged in what they know, which is a huge, stepping stone for people, and it can actually just end up blocking their growth altogether. But yeah, I'm not sure how much people would like me picking apart their beliefs and what they want to know or what they choose to know, or if it makes them happy, whatever. But I feel like those who are willing to open their mind genuinely, like a lot of people like say they have an open mind and whatnot. I think that's all bullshit though. No, other way. It's all bullshit because if you had an open mind, that's all. I think you would understand that it's a plus and a drawback. There has to be a balance. If you have a completely open mind, that means you're open to all ideas, and therefore you're exposed to the ideas that are wrong. That's what having an open mind means. But I think it's implied that when you have an open mind, you're open to these ideas and concepts, but you also have the ability to critically think and assess if they're true or not, and if they hold any value, etc., etc. So people who I don't like when people, personally, I don't like when people get things wrong. Like it doesn't bug me, but like certain things do. Like if someone claims to have an open mind, but yet they will not be willing to, ironically, literally open their mind to an idea that's outside their comfort zone or outside their current knowledge. Like, a lot of people are not good with being told that they're wrong. but I'm not like like obviously I don't like being told I'm wrong either, but I view it as like potential for growth. That if I'm actually wrong and the other person is right, or the other phenomena is right, that's a it's a possibility for growth. It's basically like, okay, you have room to improve because you failed, and now take it. And that goes into basically failure. You have to learn how to fail, stuff like that. Where's that med? Oh, the med kit's at the gas station. Fuck. That's bullshit. Anyway, yeah, no. Having a totally open audience is like, just like all, I guess, creators or whatever, or people that have a podcast, it's always open to criticism. But whether the criticism is objective or not, that's what that's where it matters. Like, obviously people wouldn't pay any attention if they don't know what they're talking about, because people only understand from their level of perception. And when your ability to think it surpasses theirs, they stop understanding you. And we also fear what we don't know, so it's just a formula for chaos, almost. But if you're getting critiqued by someone who knows nothing, it obviously does not help. But you have to be in the same field as someone else, like the same talent, ability, skill, whatever, for a critic to actually, because there's a lot of good movies out there that are rated poorly. I don't even have to name any. I know that's just how it is based off of what I'm saying. Like, there could be such great movies out there who like such low ratings and such low reputation because people don't necessarily understand or agree with the concept of the point, or it's not to their liking. That's not to say it doesn't have meaning or it's not a good movie, So basically, if people like when you go on I forgot what it was, IMBD or something, I don't know, IMB, the shit that rates movies. If you go on that or Rotten Tomatoes, like some really good movies that I liked got shit on, and it's like, I like that movie. Who the fuck are you to say it's objectively bad? Like, you're no one. You're not allowed to say that. I mean, you are allowed to say that, but you're wrong. So don't say it, No mats. Oh, hey, mats. Where's that guy that ran away? Yeah, but no, if you're gonna critique something, you have to at least acknowledge that your opinion is also, it's your opinion. It's not wrong, it's your opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. That doesn't mean, it's true. It's not right. It's not like 100% empirical, objective, 100%, valid. So if you're gonna bash something, you have to acknowledge that that's just the way you see it, you think. Unless there is an objective way too. That's why art is so controversial. It's because it's there's no way for it to be objective. Mated. So like film and stuff, it's like it also doesn't help. Like film, like arts is a hard career because you have to be almost like a people person, or your art has to appeal to what other people think. And from quote, I forgot who wrote this, but quoting someone, the frailty of genius is that it needs an audience, and that applies directly to art. You need an audience to assure you that it is genius, unless you might just be mad or crazy or this or that. So annoying. I never met a more annoying fucking piece of shit. Just trying to take out my minis real quick. And there's a guy right there too, right opposite of him. Ran out of mats. I ran out of mats. No fair. There's another guy coming, bro. Okay, well that's happening. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Drop the lightsaber, bro. I don't hit any shots, bro. That's nuts. Ah, this just got so unfun. Half pot mine. You should have took your burst out, bro. Now I got full shield. And your burst. Ooh. Stop. What is that? I wish I was better at this game. See, I'm just gonna try to push. Fuck it. Like, I don't have a close range gun, but who cares, you know? Wow, I do not deserve to be alive right now. That guy's aim was just atrocious. If he had a shotgun, I would have been dead. Also, I dislike politics for the same reason I was just saying. Sorry, bro. No hard feelings. Yo. No, yeah, I don't get myself involved in politics because it's politics is basically if you want politics like in a nutshell, it's progressive versus old. It's progressive versus an established way of living, and that's kind of the common theme with Democrats and Republicans is that, like, you know, it works for so long, why do we have to change now? And then every Democrat says, most Democrats that lean left are like, you know, times are changing, things are progressing, we are expanding as a country and stuff, we're developing more, new ideas, it's a new time, you know, we have to keep up. And everyone else is like, you know, our founding fathers didn't just write the Constitution, you know, for shits and giggles. It's meant to be strict and practiced. And yeah, sure, it helps. Like, I'm not even gonna say my opinion, but it's because I am indifferent. I find both sides valuable and also incredibly stupid. So I am independent. You know, I'm both and none at the same time. I just really wish, my philosophy is that if people knew how if people found middle ground and could balance out left and right views, then I think we would have a much, and that's what everyone kind of does, but not really. I think we'd have a much easier time in politics because the moment someone shares their view, it's like attack. You have to attack or defend. There's no like, okay, I understand you, I understand where you're coming from. Let's negotiate a common ground. Let's have a little thought experiment. What would this be like if this, or let's incorporate both ideas. Nobody thinks like that. So it makes it incredibly hard to find a common idea, peace, common ground, all that shit. Because when you have people who are both sides, like people in general, individuals, when we have those type of people who don't agree and are stubborn and set in their ways, there is no progress. Because you're obviously not moving. How do you expect to win a race if you're standing still? So that's my 2 cents. I don't want this blue AR. So yeah, politics is just like it's just a huge mess. Like nobody's right and it's very hard for people to be like, oh, you know, both parties are right, but also wrong. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you have a great idea, but this idea is also, you know, let's work together, let's merge our thoughts, and come up with something truly profound and truly beneficial. It's like the moment you take a side is the moment you lose your critical thinking. Because you are like, okay, if you want someone to agree with your ideas, right, but don't you want the truth? Don't you want to know if your ideas are actually right or wrong? Well, the answer for most people is no. That's why they don't open themselves up to opposing ideas. I'm gonna set a trap on this fucking heli. Man tries to get back in it. He's fucked. Oh, you fucking bitch, bro. You're a fucking Really? Why is it always me? I'm going back to my house, fucking assholes. Psych. Maybe you thought. Ah! I should have kept the AR. Yeah, you don't like the heat, do you? You're so annoying, dude. I hate people that fucking run up with these special weapons, bro. Like, you land at the agency, whatever the fuck is it is the agency. Yeah, you land at the agency just to get that gun and a gold scar or whatever. And, oh my god. And then you play like that. You hide in a bush, bro. You hide in a bush. That makes no sense. I'll continue this.